I
Yes.
gave Ever Peach an invite. He said he was just sitting down for dinner, so he would be late.
Oh, he's pretty cool. The hell does he live where he's having dinner at 9 p.m.?
I don't know.
Christ. Just like taunt him or something here. But yeah.
All right. Now that first chapter was a hell of a trip.
Dude. I think we lost our minds maybe 3 times in a row.
It went from 0 to 100 like that.
It just kept getting worse. I was like, it pulled me in. I gotta admit, I got it. It let me lower my guard at the start. I thought, you know what? Maybe this premise isn't bad. Like I like where he's going with this, and then he just slaps me in the face with it.
Balls is saying that the audio is doubling. Let me grab my headphones.
Oh, I know what it is. Are you sharing audio?
Uh,
Your share screen, is it sharing audio?
yes, it
Yeah.
was.
So what you can do is share screen without audio, and if you want to do a screen with audio, you do share tab with audio. That way, it only gets the tab and not your entire computer. Okay, Ball says he's just a
Yeah.
dumbass. Never mind. I thought I was being smart, but I was stupid. Thank you, Balls.
Oh well.
Wait, is this Chrome? No.
No, it's Firefox.
Okay, never mind. So it wasn't an issue in the first place because Firefox never gets audio.
Oh.
Could you do this to me, Balls? This was my moment.
Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into chapter 2.
Oh, Mandalore said in a bit he'll join us.
All right.
All right.
Chapter 2, Jon 2. Is anyone going to ask me if I want to go to the wall? Sir Jaime asked sardonically after the cheering subsided. Jon almost laughed, but the man had a good point. Part of the point of the sentence being laid the way it was in forcing Sir Jaime to choose his just desserts. Very well, Sir Jaime. Do you want to go to the wall? What would you do if I said no? As I am the one that laid the sentence, I would swing the sword. That is the way of the North. Cheers of the Stark bannermen erupted at his words. I would take out to the judgment you and your 50 of your father's closest armsmen, Jaime offered. Jon inclined his head. And I would claim your head for my new father, His Majesty King Robert Baratheon, the first of his name.
I just John Baratheon. Oh shit. Alright.
You steal my son's crown, and now you want to steal his father's life?
Oh my god. Okay.
I have stolen nothing. If you had not broken your vows, you would not be facing this choice. If you had not broken your vows, your son would not exist to suffer for your choices. Now, are you going to the wall or not, Sir Jaime? Sir Jaime stuck his chin out stubbornly and breathed so hard his nose flared, but Jon just held his gaze. Eventually, the Golden Lion nodded. I will go to the wall.
Timid little lion.
He's such a timid lion.
He couldn't hold the
Like,
kids.
the real Jaime would have fought to the death.
What is it with these fanfics and just Jon just looking at people and everyone's afraid of him?
It's what they wish happened with themselves in real life. Like it's how they get their. They live vicariously through their fan fiction.
Damn, just randomly accepts a bastard child as his heir, as the heir to the Seven Kingdoms. Like, it's not like he chose Shireen and maybe a little drama there. No, he picks a random fucking bastard. Well, okay, he's not random, but he picks a bastard from the north.
With no blood relation to him at all that he
I don't
knows of.
understand. I don't understand.
There is, of course, the Targaryen blood relation between them, but
He doesn't know.
Robert clearly doesn't know about that.
Jon randomly becomes the heir to the Seven Kingdoms. uh.
Jon figured that if his sons went with him, Jaime might finally get to be a father to them. But he did not say that out loud. Aloud. He knew that if he did, King Robert would demand Sir Jaime's head immediately, rather than allow him to claim such a reward. Take him away. That is my boy, King Robert crowed uproariously. Come, sit with me. Ned, where is your maester? We need formal proclamations. Letters sent to every lord of every house. Everyone that matters. Jon approached his new father warily and gave him a respectful nod before sitting as instructed. He needs a new wardrobe. He must dress to his station. A personal sigil. King Robert turned to focus on him. What do you want for your personal sigil? Jon considered that, taking into account how your previous son draped himself in Lannister lions. Robert snorted contemptuously and shouted for drink. I think I should stick with our house sigil, father, and simply change our house's gold for ghost white for my personal sigil. To distance yourself from my false get, King Robert pointed at him. You're a smart one. You seem to be leaving House Stark and the North behind rather easily, Lord Tyrion offered from the far side of the king. I will never leave the North behind, Lord Tyrion. Jon shook his head and held out his hand. Ghost silently stepped under his arm and Jon pulled him close. It is the core of me, and the House Stark will walk with me all of my days. But I was raised the son of a great lord. I was raised to rule a great house, despite never being the heir. As a bastard, that would never be my fate. Is it so terrible a thing to want to use the training I have been given all of my life? Tyrion inclined his head and let the subject drop. He, of all people, had to understand where Jon was coming from. Being trained by Lord Tywin but never having the chance to rule the Rock had their fates not changed as they had. We will find you a good wife, King Robert promised him. The most beautiful in all the Seven Kingdoms that will give you a dozen healthy sons. I swear it. We will hold a tournament upon our return to King's Landing. Not his son for an hour, and he's already talking about marrying him off.
He's gonna get a dozen healthy sons. Hey, it's gonna be. I don't know like how much worse this is gonna get. This is already far worse than Rising Sun ever was.
Oh yeah. But I'm anxious to see how this chapter ramps up like the previous one did.
I don't know how Ryle finds these. I don't know.
I don't either.
It's fucking magic right here.
Can we go to the wall first? Jon asked. King Robert nearly choked on his drink. Why in the seven hells would you want to go there? I always expected I would go to the watch, Jon admitted. I will not now, clearly. But it seems a waste to be so close to the wall and never see it. A waste to have lived in Winterfell all of your life and to have never seen it, Lord Tyrion agreed. All right, King Robert agreed slowly. We will escort Sir Jaime there. Ned will take us. Tyrion, we will sail back from the wall to King's Landing. Arrange it. Yoren should be coming through soon, Your Grace. He always stops at Winterfell, Ned offered as he joined them. He is a wandering crow, responsible for seeing recruits to the wall. Unless you would rather not wait. Benjen could see us to the wall easily. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it just the wildlings that call them crows?
Oh, yeah. They're called crows because they wear the clothes that make them look like crows.
Yeah.
In the Seven Kingdoms, they're just called Night's Watchmen.
Yeah. Men of the Night's Watch.
Yeah, exactly. At best, they'd make a comment about how they're
Or
wearing all
Black Brothers,
black.
I think
Exactly.
I've seen used.
Black Brothers, exactly. I was about to say that.
King Robert snorted. I am in no hurry to leave your warm halls, Ned. We will wait for this Yoren fellow. Jaime could use some time in your cells to adjust to the cold. Now, who wants to tell Cersei's spawn the news? Jaime should.
Spawn.
Jon had no idea why the words came out of his mouth, but he did not take them back. Unless you want to do it, Lord Tyrion. But Sir Jaime is the one that wronged them, basically, and Stannis can watch over him to keep Sir Jaime honest. He seems the most honest man in the Seven Kingdoms. And we would know exactly what Jaime has told them with Stannis watching, King Robert nodded. Good thinking. Stannis, get over here. I would like to write a letter to House Martell, Jon told his new father as they waited for his uncle to cross the hall, to send with Lord Tywin's head. If you think you can make the Martells our friends, my blessings to you, my son.
Oh, no. Forgot that they wanted to send Tywin's head to Dorne.
I feel like subconsciously Robert knows that Jon is Lyanna's, and that's why he's so quick to call him his son.
Is that what the look? If we say that that's what the writer is going for, we may be giving her too much credit.
Oh no, I'm definitely giving the writer too much credit, but that would be what would make sense to me for why he's so quick to do this. Jon nodded. He had a pretty good handle on what drove Prince Oberyn, at least, and Prince Oberyn was supposed to be Prince Doran's most trusted. Bringing one of them closer to him should gain him ground with the other. Perhaps not as much as he would like, but certainly more than any other contender for the Iron Throne had ever had. I don't know. They had their blood in the line of succession at one point. I think that's as close as you can get.
Yeah. Oh, Mandalore saying let me in.
Oh, I see him now.
Let me in. There
Welcome
it
to
is.
Mandalore.
I was in the
Hello
dark
there.
for so long. For so long, I
It's
was
okay.
in the
Peach
dark.
said he'll be on in an hour. Apparently, he takes a whole hour to eat. It's like a
I guess I got too used to really short breaks, work breaks, and eating on them. Doesn't take me long at all to eat.
he's like
I-
like a snake eating an alligator. It takes him 5 hours to simply gulp it down.
I get 15-minute breaks and an hour lunch for work.
Dude, I can eat in 5 minutes.
I mean, if you don't gotta hurry, you don't gotta hurry.
Always gotta hurry.
I mean, right now he should be hurrying, the dick.
He took that as a dismissal and nodded to the gathered lords and king as he went to find Maester Lewin. He had ideas for how he wanted several things phrased before he let them leave Winterfell. If he was going to survive the Game of Thrones, he needed more pieces on the board, and he needed them quick. It had not even occurred to him to worry about how his family would react to the change in their circumstances, though it probably should have. Lady Stark was perfectly polite, but rigid with it. Every time she saw him, she would grit her teeth so hard he was surprised she did not render any of them to dust. He wondered how long it would take her to decide Jon Snow had died and Jon Baratheon was a completely different person.
Jon Baratheon, the first of his name.
The cunt who got the queen.
I wonder how long it's going to take Jon to reveal himself as a Targaryen.
Obviously, he'll do that right as after Robert dies and he sits upon the throne.
Or like on his deathbed, he'll just say, I'm a Targaryen,
Like,
and then
lean
he'll
in.
pull down his pants and slap him in the face before he,
Just
before he dies.
when Robert's on his deathbed, lean in and whisper in his ear, Prince Rhaegar sends his regards.
Oh yeah, something like that. You're right.
Or, you cunt, you took him off the throne for 20 years
Or-
and put him right back on.
Prince Rhaegar, my father, sends his regards.
There we go. And then Robert heals out of the force of his rage.
Mayhap her faith would give her some guidance. Jon rolled his eyes at himself. Sansa had burst into tears when King Robert had made the official announcement over dinner that night. When Jon had sought her out to ensure her well-being, he had heard her crying that he had personally stolen her sweet prince and ruined everything to Jane Poole.
And now Sansa, after a week, will become convinced Jon is now her prince.
Oh, God. I mean, Caitlin is already going to be convinced that Jon Snow is dead and Jon Baratheon is a new person. So... He had decided discretion was the better part of valor and left immediately. Coward. Space was the best thing he could give her. He did not think she was foolish enough to risk a Kingsguard's blade to hurl cruelty at him, but she had always followed her mother's lead in disdaining him. He desperately did not want the change in his circumstances to damage a single one of the Starks in any real way. Arya had just asked, "You're going where?" so many times. He knew she was plotting to join him. Not at the wall, of course. She had no interest in going further north, and their father would never allow it. But if she could, she would absolutely sneak into the royal procession when it headed south to King's Landing. He very carefully did not mention that they were going to be sailing south from Eastwatch by the Sea. There should be hyphens connecting this.
Yep. But at least they did not call it
Northwatch.
Northwatch.
In the north.
Look, that was funny.
It was.
The
Not
north.
Not as funny as, snake in the bum.
Oh.
What she did not know could not socially ruin her. Bran had been thrilled about the idea of being a member of Jon's Kingsguard, right up until King Robert had gotten to the part about Bran being betrothed by royal decree to Lady Myrcella Lannister. A good king would never accept a betrothed man into his Kingsguard, so that dream was lost to his brother.
What?
Bran, at least, had not cried.
Unfortunately,
Rickon was a
had also
child,
not
too
died.
young to understand what was going on, so that was a relief. Ned Stark looked slightly sicker every time he saw Jon draped in more and more Baratheon symbols and goods. It took almost a week before he took Jon aside in the Godswood.
I'm imagining
Jon,
Jon just
Look,
buried under a pile of things covered in Baratheon symbols and warhammers.
Jon, look, your mother. I know. Jon cut him off before he could give voice to the words that would condemn them all. I have known for a while.
Wait. The thing that gets him to tell Jon about his mother is Jon rising in position to an even more dangerous place to know about his parenthood. Good Lord.
You know? Jon gave the man that raised him a small smile. I found a tomb in the crypt that did not match the others some time ago. It answered most of my questions. Most? Lord Ned asked. Shit. What questions could he ask about his parents? Is his instrument there? That's not an innuendo at all.
Oh, wait. Jon in this one is going to be on Daddy's rotting corpse. Are you my daddy?
Are you my daddy? His instrument, though. His pee-pee.
Jon going for that incest tag.
Yep.
Technically, it's already a tag. So Jon is betrothed to Shireen now, right?
No. Jon
he's
is not betrothed to anyone yet. But he's going to be betrothed to
a woman that'll give him at least 12 healthy sons.
Yes.
Wait, isn't that why Robert legitimized him?
Nope.
Because Stannis,
well, I mean, yes. Stannis said that if he was legitimized, he would betroth them to Shireen. And then Robert legitimized him, and Shireen was never mentioned again.
Yet.
Irene doesn't matter.
Of course not. She's gonna burn to death.
Robert has said he would find Jon the most beautiful woman in the world to be his wife.
Yep.
Did I miss that?
Yes.
You weren't here.
Is
Above.
That wouldn't be Marjorie, though.
Who would it be then?
Danny. That is made very clear in the books.
Yes, yeah. That is true. Where is
You
it?
think this is based on the books? You're hilarious.
We'll find you a good wife, the most beautiful in all the 7 kingdoms, that will give you a dozen healthy sons. I swear.
So he wants to kill Jon. Because that would be hell.
Sounds like you don't want any children there,
I don't.
Lord Shiva.
Yeah,
You're right. One of you is bad enough. I mean, let's not make more.
I'll just clone myself. Send them all to Zero's house.
Oh God.
You don't know where I live, though.
We don't need Mandalore clones.
Yes, we do.
Rhaegar's harp had gone missing not long before his death, right? It would be a sure sign of his legitimacy if Jon showed up with it later. Is there anything else that proves everything? Ned looked relieved to admit it. There are several artifacts that prove everything.
Yep, confirmation he gonna get Blackfire and Dark Sister.
And letters between the 3 adults.
Confirmation Elia was in on it.
No one would believe it now, but everything was amicable between them. The woman that should have been your stepmother was supportive of everything that was done.
I like how all of these writers have to specifically justify
Say that Elia was in on it.
Like Elia was in on it, and the Rhaegar totally didn't coerce Lyanna or rape her or anything. It was born out of love.
I mean, it's certainly possible, but we have no reason to believe that that's how it happened.
I mean, one of my favorites, it's abandoned now, had Elia being completely not okay with it, but it also being Rhaegar falling in love with Lyanna. Like, Elia, it was Targaryen's win, AU.
Stepmom, I'm stuck.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
What are you doing, step bro?
Oh, good lord.
Stepmom. A woman that should have been your good mother. Or
a good mother
she wouldn't have been anything.
For the family. There's not a term for a step parent in Westeros.
You're a step parent.
Shit.
She would have just been his father's lady wife.
Shit.
Who's this? My father's wife. Your mother? No, my father's wife. I don't understand. And
this is my mother, my father's other wife.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Firing on all cylinders now.
And Jon will steal both of them.
Dude.
Jon blew out a relieved breath. That would make getting Dorne's support easier.
No, it wouldn't.
I cannot take it with me now, he said. No, Ned agreed. But you could read it all on your next visit. Or we could bring it to you on your coronation. That would be good. Do your best, son, Ned ordered. Whatever you plan to do it the best you can.
Oh, God.
Since Jon's mission, his entire reason for being alive right now was dealing with corruption. I will go down in history with Cregan Stark, he swore, or I will die trying.
That's not a good thing.
No!
The hand for a day. Honestly.
Ned Stark bowed his head. Long may you reign. Jon could not be fucked to ascertain Theon's reaction. Theon had stolen and burned Winterfell. He had murdered Jon's brothers. He was a betrayer. And a traitor's hopes, dreams, and opinions held no value to him.
Imagine blaming someone for things that he has not done yet.
I mean, you've said this before. Human emotions are not logical.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't say that I would be able to keep what someone was going to do separate from what they have
But
already.
at the very least, you'd have the conflict.
Yeah, there would definitely be conflict there.
You would at least have, even if it's paying lip service to it, you would at least have a thought that's like, but he hasn't done it yet.
Yeah,
Why am judging him?
I shouldn't be judging him for this.
And then you'd have a line that's like, but his anger was too hot or something, and then he fully
the betrayal sat too fresh in his memory.
Yeah, but like this one is like, yeah, I don't care.
Considering
he's a traitor.
I know this isn't based on the books, but considering Jon in the books, you'd probably have him. He hasn't done anything yet, but he's too big of a threat to be left alive. I'll stab him in a quiet corner.
I really like stabbing people in quiet corners. Trying to tell us something here.
You can prove nothing.
Robb was silent on the matter of Jon's ascension, and he knew that meant his brother was furious. And probably confused, which Jon knew would only make his fury stronger. Jon could somewhat understand it. What was that?
Ours is the fury.
Yeah, because he now understands fury. He's a Baratheon.
He is Jon Baratheon, the first of his name.
Oh shit! What a great story.
It's at least entertaining.
Robb had always been the one of them that had everything. All the girls had wanted him, the future Lord of Winterfell and Warden of the North. He had had the brightest and most powerful future ahead of all of them, with the partner of his dreams at his side, while all Jon had had that set him apart was a fighting spirit and equal weapons proficiency with either hand.
They're gonna be dual wielding.
I mean, if that's not a sign that he's going to be dual wielding Blackfire and Dark Sister, I don't know what is.
He's probably going to be wielding a third sword in his teeth.
He's going to be using Killer Bee's fighting style.
Oh yeah, like so,
using 8 swords at once.
8
like 3
Valyrian
under his
swords.
armpits.
I thought it was 7 swords.
No, it was 8 because octopus.
Yeah, 8 swords. 8.
I'm pretty sure it was 7. I just
All right,
watched that.
let's fact check you, see if you're lying to us or not. Let's see here.
I mean, 7 wouldn't make sense because he's the Jin Cherokee for the 8 tails.
You expect Kishimoto
8
to
makes
make
more
sense.
thematic sense.
You expect Kishimoto, a rabbit goddess person, to make sense.
The rabbit goddess looked hot. All right.
I never said
You're not wrong.
I said she didn't make sense.
She does. She's pretty hot. Therefore, she makes sense just by existing.
He had to make
Bends
her because
the
he
rules
made
of
his villain
reality.
too strong.
Look, man. Doesn't actually state how many swords he has. Let's see. As well, just look at the picture.
7. 7 swords.
You forgot the 8.
What do you mean I forgot it? There is no 8.
Yes, there is. Just gotta pull down his pants first.
Oh,
Yeah, I can admit when I'm wrong. It was 7,
Yeah, it's 7.
which infuriates me because it doesn't make thematic sense.
I mean, I guess you can say it was 8 when he got, Samihada.
Look, but I mean, if you see the picture of the pose he does, the sword that's at his waist, it's being held together by something, and I think that's the 8th sword. Now, if you think about it, he was fighting Sasuke at the time, so now you know what he likes.
God damn it.
I have no regrets.
More proof that Sasuke was a girl in Kishimoto's mind.
He's the best character. I mean, of course everybody likes him.
Hey, Zero.
Hello, I am Zero.
What was the name of the horny honey file?
I don't remember. Let me just find it.
Fail.
Here. Horny honey. Where are you at? Where you at, lady? This is the implore file. This is Toby saying he's gonna put dirt in someone's eye.
Of course, Killer Bee also gave up Samihada to the
What?
Water Village.
Oh.
His name I cannot remember. Because
Your water village.
We'll do a test and see if it's this one.
How can you be so without heart?
Oh, that's the without heart. I mean, that one's pretty good too.
It is, yes.
Wait, how are you doing that?
Doing what?
Sharing the video. It seems like you turned off the actual sharing your screen thing to do it.
I clicked share video file.
Oh, there should be a tab under your brand thing that lets you share videos. Well, like where you see the place where it has a countdown timer, you can put videos there and they'll stay there forever.
Ah.
That way you don't have to remember what file's name is what. It'll show you like a thumbnail of the video and you can just click it.
That is good to know.
I thought you knew. I'm sorry.
He's not sorry.
I mean, I had seen that. I just didn't think to do it.
I have a question. How does the breeze
I
feel
might have
against
an
your
answer.
face now?
What?
You know, when the breeze hits your face, how does
Oh.
it feel? Now that you don't have
It's-
hair anymore.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I know how
I keep
unsettling it
reaching up to run my fingers through my beard, and it's not there.
Shadow beard.
This is Myth's origin story.
I hope they donated the hair they shaved off. I guess they didn't.
No, they threw it away.
That's a shame. So many
You didn't
bald
keep
men
it
could have stopped being
And
bald.
frame it.
What? Frame it?
Frame it. Braid it all together and frame it.
They were talking about nailing it to the fraternity wall.
That would have been great.
Make a rope out of it and hit people with it.
There we go.
Now, Jon had all Robb had been born with and more. Future king, crown prince of the Seven Kingdoms,
Also,
the prospect of a beautiful bride of his choice. And he was now an even better swordsman thanks to his time spent on the wall in another life.
I'd like to say that he doesn't even consider the bride's choice, first of all. And also,
any bride he wants there.
and also, Robb was actually the better fighter when they were in Winterfell.
Yeah, but he's got years of experience. He's much better now. His
experience is with unskilled swordsmen, mostly.
He's been in real battle. He knows what.
But this is based on the show where it's clearly said that Jon is the best swordsman in the world.
Yeah, after, all the other good ones are dead. I'm the best swordsman in the world because all the other ones are dead.
He killed them.
It had to burn. Had to hurt. He just hoped he would not lose his brother's love when it was all said and done.
What?
Oh.
What? What? Robb would not care about this.
They're gonna love each other.
Silence remained between them until the day they were leaving Winterfell. Jon was saddling his own horse, as he always had and always would, with Robb beside him and a Kingsguard not far away. My sweet prince, he heard Sansa simper. He looked up and caught Robb's eye. Robb was trying desperately not to laugh. Together they leaned around the edge of their horses' stalls to see Sansa holding a pathetic-looking flower and fawning over Joffrey Hill.
I was wrong.
Robb choked back several laughs as they rededicated their attention to the care of their mounts. It was a foolish thing Sansa was doing, but if their sister wanted to embarrass herself, the least they could do was minimize her audience. Jon kept his focus on the grinning Robb as he waited for his brother to join him in the path between stalls. They were walking side by side out of the stable when they heard a resounding crack and an enraged snarl. When they saw her, Sansa was on the ground. She was holding one of her cheeks, crying and looking at Joffrey Hill in horror. Lady leaped at the former prince and ripped off the hand that had armed her bondage.
Jesus Christ!
Oh my God!
Puppy, take hand!
Hill fell on his back in the mud. Lady would have attacked him again, but Ghost was there, shouldering his sister away from her prey and toward her master.
What? Ghost would have ripped his throat out.
Oh my God!
Even Show Ghost would have ripped his throat out.
Lady, Sansa cried, how could you?
I don't understand. But okay, hold on. The only reason she was interested in Joffrey in the first place was because he's a prince.
Yeah, and she wanted to be queen.
Wanted to be queen. Now that he's no longer a prince.
Remember, Joffrey is handsome. So it's not
whatever, but she's the main reasoning was because he was a prince.
Yeah.
My sweet golden prince.
Yeah, and now he's no longer a prince, but she still calls him that. I don't know why. Like, I guess she hates Sansa, obviously.
Obviously.
I mean, after season 7 and 8, it's not that. I mean, honestly,
I understand hating a character. I don't understand this weird need to artificially lower their intelligence just to make yourself feel better.
You can make a character unlikable without bashing them.
You just use the canon character for Sansa, and she's still unlikable.
Yeah, I mean, but if this was the canon Sansa show or book, she would show absolutely no interest in Joffrey after he's declared a bastard.
And also, if it was canon Sansa, you may not like her, but you have to pity her.
And even I like in this damn chapter, you saw the part where Jon was afraid that she would still treat him with coldness, etc., because he was a bastard. But then 10 seconds later, she's calling a new bastard, Joffrey, a prince, and she's still obsessed with him. Like, where's the logic?
Yep. There is no logic.
All right.
Not even within the story itself is there a logical consistency.
Sure. I don't
Be
like
grateful, King Robert thundered over Joffrey's caterwauling. The old gods saw fit to give you a protector and ensured she was up to the task. The Seven have never bothered to protect a maiden from her would-be lover. You are lucky to have that wolf. Have that wolf, girl. Sansa swallowed hard and nodded. Her wide, scared eyes never left the king.
Swallow. Also, I like how Grey Wind during the feast where Great John is threatening to take his men and go home, Grey Wind takes a finger.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, in this one, Lady just snaps on him and takes the entire fucking hand off like it was nothing.
My favorite thing about that scene was, and it was two fingers, was the Great John freaking laughing about it and going right back to drinking.
Your meat's bloody tough.
Great John is a great character.
And also,
that was a good scene.
The wolves are quite a bit younger at this point as well.
Yeah, they shouldn't be able to tear hands off.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's about the size, maybe even smaller than a beagle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lady just fucking hops on a horse, grabs his hand, and just tears the whole thing off. Clean.
So I'm imagining...
Tearing clean through all the muscle and bone and cartilage.
Easy. Lady's obviously... That's why they killed her off early, because she was the strongest wolf of them all.
I'm just imagining this tiny little puppy thing jumping 4 feet in the air, ripping right through the wrist.
It's like the rabbit.
Flash.
It's like the rabbit in Monty
It's like
Python.
the rabbit of Carabanog.
Exactly.
Jon watched King Robert sneer down at his former son as he writhed in the mud. Joffrey was clutching his elbow. Lady had removed the hand that had harmed Sansa with extreme prejudice.
Wait, his elbow? Hold on. So, like, his entire...
So, did he remove the entire forearm?
That's great! Not even the weaker wrist, the entire freaking forearm.
Like it's not at the it's at the forearm.
Oh my god!
What the?
Lady's jaw shouldn't even fit around.
Lady is the true MVP right now.
What the fuck? I like how it gets even worse in the next part.
Mm-hmm.
No, the king waved Maester Luwin off from Joffrey. He broke guest right and struck your lord's daughter. He has no right to further hospitality from the House of Stark. Tend her.
The bruise is more important than the...
But even then, even if he has no right to further hospitality, why would Maester Luwin need to be told this?
Because Maester Luwin's a nice guy and he wants to help.
The entire party waited and observed King Robert as he watched Joffrey Hill die, crying in the mud.
Jesus Christ.
This is great. So, Zero, how do you like that everyone's just watching as Joffrey slowly dies a horrible death in the mud.
And this is one of those scenes that you would put in a Burlington bar to have those mindless NPCs screaming in excitement watching someone they don't like die. It was if I was watching this, I would just stop it, turn off, and watch something else. For example, the movie Snatch that I now have in my possession that we can watch at some point in the future.
I've never even heard of Snatch.
We should watch Snatch in the future at some point. Can you watch it tonight after the stream?
This
Robot.
so this is a perfect opportunity for this clip. This is what Lady just said to Joffrey.
In my culture, I would be well within my rights to dismember you.
Oh god, that is so true.
No,
Straight up did it. Didn't even tell him she would be within her rights. She just went up. She took his hand off, but his hand actually means his entire forearm.
After taking off his entire forearm, she turned back and said, "In our culture, I was well within our rights to dismember you." Slight editing of what Tilk said.
And all you would hear is a bark because it's a dog.
Nope, she's a lady, the MVP. She can talk.
Yeah, she suddenly gains the ability to warg into people and speaks through Sansa.
Speaks through with a really posh English accent through Sansa because she's a lady.
Yes.
I say, old chap. Wait, no, that's really bad. I'm sorry. I'm really bad with English accent. Oh my god. Okay, how much
Jon
worse
tried not to not take it as an omen of what was coming for him. King Robert would surely enjoy watching him die slowly just as much as he was enjoying Hill's death, if he ever came to know Jon's true parentage.
Okay. We see a lot of King Robert's character. We know he's pretty bloodthirsty for fighting.
Yeah.
We know he can be filled with the rage for shit like this. But in this instance, do you think this is something Robert would have done?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Like the punishment doesn't fit the crime. And I mean the entire situation is contrived in the first place. Sansa shouldn't even be heading towards Joffrey. At best, if this actually happened, like she approached him and said she's sorry but she's not interested in him and he hits her, at best, he would like give him a backhand with wearing plate armor, right? Just send him to the floor, losing a few teeth.
Like Robert wouldn't take action or watch it happen, but certainly if someone else took action against Joffrey, he wouldn't. Like he would not condemn them for it.
Yeah, but it wouldn't.
It's the same scenario in my mind as Elia's children. Like I don't think that Robert would have killed them himself.
No.
But he definitely was satisfied by their death.
Did he actually see the bodies? They were wrapped up in cloaks.
They were draped in a Lannister cloak.
Yeah, so did he actually see the devastation to the kids' bodies?
I don't know. I don't think we ever get those
explained.
details.
I mean, it's assumed that he, like, you know, does the whole lift the cover thing, look at it for a few seconds, and put the cover back down. I don't think that needed to be, like, written specifically.
And the crux of his argument with Ned was he said, "I see no babes, only dragon spawn."
So if he says, "I see no babes, only dragon spawn," that means he saw them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm going to say he did.
The implication is definitely that he saw them.
This is one of those things that you do not actually have to write about, but people will always say, "Oh, well, you should write about every little detail." I mean,
No, you shouldn't.
It's unnecessary.
There's always benefit to leaving things to the reader's imagination.
That's true in fight scenes too, to be honest.
You like the fights that last for half a second when someone blinks and it's over.
Hell, that happens in a fight. If someone loses their concentration, they can easily be killed within half a second.
I meant more like...
I know what you meant.
Yeah, okay.
You meant that single sentence in Rising Sun. But, oh, no.
He defeated them with ease.
Spit on their corpses.
He probably teabagged the corpses, as far as we know.
I'm imagining Robert with his hammer held above his head as he...
It's like teabagging it, no scope. What? What are you doing, Robert?
When Joffrey was no longer moving, King Robert turned his back on the corpse. Move out.
Let's go home, boys.
Just leaving the corpse there.
Let's wrap it up. We're done here.
Also, so much for the plot thread that Jaime can now be a father to his sons.
Well, he's still got one son.
Isn't he going to be a maester or some shit?
No, both of his sons were going to the wall.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh. Wait. Tommen?
Yeah, Tommen's going to the wall as well, even though he's a child.
What did they do to get sent to the wall?
Being Jaime and Cersei's bastards.
But...
And Myrcella got legitimized as Tyrion's daughter and betrothed to Bran Stark.
What?
Where Bran is going to have to take the Lannister name.
Now, see, it would make sense for Tommen to be legitimized because Tyrion didn't like Joffrey. And Myrcella to be legitimized. Joffrey going to the wall could make sense in the proper circumstance. Like him, exploding and stabbing someone at this occurrence. But, okay.
Tom and
Jon
Hill.
looked around the courtyard. Sansa was staring at Joffrey's still form. Lady Myrcella was crying silently into Tommen Hill's shoulder. The Hound had his helm down. Jon would bet it was hiding a smirk. He was now standing at Tyrion Lannister's shoulder, clearly having gone from Joffrey's to his lord's personal guard. Everything else was what Jon would expect from the King's company preparing to leave. Stannis was already in the saddle, reading some correspondence. Lord Stark was farewelling with Lady Stark. The younger Stark children were not in sight, locked away in the Great Hall so as to not get underfoot to the sheer number of guards and wheelhouses in the yard and spilling out of the northern gates.
Question.
Hello.
Yes?
If good father and good mother aren't a thing, then what is the good? Was it good uncle? What?
What do you mean?
I know there was a term in A Song of Ice and Fire that started with good.
Yeah, it's good father and good mother and good sister and good brother.
But you just said that wouldn't be what...
No, good stepmother would not be a thing.
So...
Because the concept of step-parents is not a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then what's a good mother and good father?
That's your in-laws.
In-law.
Okay.
There's also good son, good daughter.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The good is literally just replacing in-law.
Okay, yeah, I'm trying to clean up some things in Game of Kingdoms.
You ruined it, didn't you?
Hey, No.
I should read that.
You should. It's gonna
I probably
be great.
won't like it.
I don't know. I think you might.
Yeah, link it.
Stark with me,
Oh,
he
God.
ordered as he mounted. Of course, my prince. Robb agreed easily. I thought this was still Robert talking.
Oh, this is
Zero.
John ordering his
No,
brother.
this is now John ordering Rob.
Zero.
Lee Stark, you piece
Would
of
you
shit.
like AO3 questionable questioning or fan fiction?
Put fan fiction because I hate the other two.
Why?
I don't like questionable questing either.
I don't like forums in general. So like sufficient velocity, space battles, questionable questing. I'm sure there are plenty more. I do not like any of them, and I don't like Archive of Our Own either. The only time I use it is when I'm here.
Yeah,
Okay.
I use it more than that, but I definitely prefer fanfiction.net.
Link sent to you. I will be curious what you think about it.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll find something wrong.
Oh, I know you're going to find something wrong.
Of course, my prince, Rob agreed easily. Rob, who a few paragraphs ago was furious with John.
No, John
agreed
thought he would
easily.
be furious. There is a difference.
Yeah, because John is now part of the Baratheon family, so he now understands fury. And he thinks that Rob, since Rob is his brother, even though he's a Baratheon now, but Rob is still his brother, so he might understand fury as well. But Rob does not.
Because Rob
Therefore.
is a Dothraki.
No, remember? Rob is Red Roach of the Unsullied.
Yep.
No, that's in my... I mean,
Yeah.
I guess he can apply here, too, because he has no balls here either.
Obviously.
Fucking Red Roach.
Lady bit him off.
Oh, no. Yeah, if she can rip an entire forearm off, I don't see why she can't pull pecker
Anyway,
and some gonads.
she's not just Lady the Direwolf. She is Lady of Caer Benog.
Oh, yeah, I like that name. The
She
Lady
made
of
Rob a
Caer
lady.
Benog.
They mounted their horses together and rode out to where Uncle Benjen was waiting at the head of the host. Ghost and Greywind flanked them, making the southern horses more than a little nervous.
Because, northern horses aren't afraid of direwolves.
Nope. It's only the southern horses that are pussies.
Yeah, it's those sweet southern, the sweet summer children
Yep.
from the south.
Only those southern children.
My prince, Uncle Benjen, nodded in greeting as they rode up, and John rolled his eyes. Rob, Uncle Benjen, they both greeted. How many recruits are we taking to the wall with us? John asked. More than we think, I would guess. We have a traitor from the Westerlands, and Yoren found a pair of young rapists in the Fingers. We also have a would-be bard and the former heir of Horn Hill somewhere around here. John did his best to not react to the mention of his old friend Sam. That was more than you expected? I have gotten some pointed questions about the watch from a number of Lannister armsmen, Benjen admitted. Whether they wish to accompany Sir Jaime or simply refuse to serve Lord Tyrion and Lady Myrcella is anyone's guess.
What? A great number of guardsmen would not go to the wall over that.
No.
The wall
The only reason they would go to the wall is to help Jaime escape the wall once he got there.
Seriously, the wall sucks.
You like the wall. I like the wall.
And as much
point of view, but I never want to serve in the Night's Watch.
As much as Jaime at this point is not a good person, the fact that he has agreed to go to the wall, I don't think he would allow himself to be rescued at this point.
He's still an honorable person, mostly.
Yeah, he's still 100% an honorable man. That's what I'm saying. Like he's already given his he's already accepted his punishment. So I don't think he would try to get out of it, but he might try to get Tommen out of it.
Plus, to be honest, Jaime might actually feel at home in the Wall. It's just a life of fighting.
No, it's actually a life of digging holes in hard, cold ground.
Not for a ranger.
Yeah,
Makes you
but
think he's gonna be a ranger.
Because he's Jaime fucking Lannister.
Jaime gets stuck with Jon's old role.
Steward.
Imagine
he gets long
Jon stand in at the wall.
I mean, I did that, but not with Jaime.
Yeah, you
did it in a way that made sense with the story and worked.
I tell myself at night.
No one has spoken ill of Bran, Rob checked. Are any of them recently missing teeth? Benjen asked dryly. Jon snorted and Benjen shot him a grin. Not where I could hear them, Rob. Which makes them at least smart enough to recognize a Stark when they see one, Jon remarked. Better than many recruits the Watch has taken in recent years, Benjen japed.
I hate that. Recognize a Stark when they see one.
Rising Sun flashbacks here.
Honestly.
Touch someone's face and recognize that he's the son of Rhaegar. I knew it.
No, I'm talking like the japed is Rising Sun.
Oh no, they're japing. Oh.
A Kingsguard, Sir Meryn Trant, was the first to join them at the head of the column. Jon did not trust him at all, and ordered him to ride ahead of him rather than linger behind. He rather hoped Trant would join Sir Jaime in his exile, and wondered idly if his loyalty to Queen Cersie had been purchased with the same currency that had bought Sir Jaime's.
Oh no! But wait, wasn't Cersie? She's dead, isn't she?
Yeah.
What does any of this matter? Like Trant.
I mean, it's still a tight fit.
Why do I feel like? Never mind.
He's hoping one twin's as skilled as the other.
Oh God.
You're welcome.
I am not fond of this.
You're welcome for that image.
Samwell drifted their way next, mounted on a fine red destrier that he was not horseman enough to control.
What?
Jon expected it was another incident of mockery and pointless pride from Lord Randall Tarley.
What?
Yo, what?
First of all, when did Sam get here? Did I miss that?
Yeah, you missed that. The former heir of Hornhill
Benjen
that
was
was
listing the new recruits. He said the former heir of Hornhill.
But Sam would not be there yet.
Look, he is now.
Also, giving Sam a fine horse is the opposite of an insult. Giving him
He's saying the mockery and pride was the fact that Sam is not a good horseman.
It's still not mockery.
No, it's not the horse itself, it's mockery. It's saying that the fact that Sam is not a good horseman is a point of mockery for Randall Tarley.
Yes,
he's saying Randall mocks Samwell for not being able to ride well.
Yes, but he's saying that giving him that good horse is a way to mock him about his horsemanship skills.
Ghost, luckily, was horseman enough to manage the beast for Sam and kept the horse on the other side of Jon from Rob more often than not. What?
He's leading the horse. But I like how in one part the author's saying that the southern horses are afraid of the direwolves, and then now Ghost is just straight up leading a horse, and it's not scared of him at all.
Headcanon, Ghost is riding the horse and controlling it with the teeth.
Yeah, Ghost is is horseman enough to manage the beast for Sam.
Horse rider. Christ.
Tom and Hill eventually joined them too, when he was not lingering outside the wagon cage that held his father and the two rapists.
Okay, what's your issue with that?
That shouldn't be a whole sentence in and of itself.
There should be a semicolon here.
Or just a comma.
Or just a comma, yeah.
Okay, I was thinking it was that.
Why this here is not a full sentence.
Yeah, I thought you were taking issue with the fact he was in the cage.
No, it's this.
He's not in the cage.
No, Jaime.
Jaime and the two rapists are in the cage.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Tommen is not in the cage. He just lingers outside the cage.
I know. I thought you were taking issue with Jaime being in the cage.
No, just the structure of the sentence.
Okay.
Because this should all be one sentence. The wall is no place to show fear, Jon cautioned both young men on the third day of their ride.
Wait. The heir? He's the heir to the Seven Kingdoms, and he's still letting Sam just go to the wall?
Yep.
Oh my god.
He's the heir to the Seven Kingdoms, and he can't just say, you're coming with me to King's Landing.
His uncle did not naysay him, so Jon assumed he agreed. It is just another settlement. Yes, it is colder than most and only walled on the one side. But the keeps of the Watch need everything any other settlement in the Seven Kingdoms needs. Maesters, septons, sailors, cooks, blacksmiths, clerks. My list senses are tingling.
Your list senses, huh?
Not everyone in the Watch ranges beyond the wall. Well, I mean, neither of these are sentences, they're lists.
Mm-hmm.
You like those.
That's why I said my list senses are tingling.
Need to find you a proper list soon.
But I'll go back to Radiant Arabian Nights eventually.
And then you'll get a list of every dragon rider.
Oh, God.
And all their swords.
We all have to learn to fight, though, Sam said morosely. Well, yes, Jon agreed sympathetically. That was the part Sam had never been good at anyway.
You know, I've seen some fics that are able to turn Sam into a warrior realistically.
Septons? Tommen asked, looking interested for the first time. I always figured I would, when my brother took the throne, I mean, that I would go to the Faith or the Citadel.
What? What?
Tommen saying he always thought he would go to the Faith or the Citadel.
First of all, Tommen is what, 9? He's not thinking about this shit. He's thinking about his cats.
Yeah.
He's thinking about Balerion the Black Cat.
Second of all, No way in hell would he be going to the Faith. He is the spare.
Didn't Tommen call his cat Sir Pounce?
Yes. Of course, he
The
also...
Balerion, the cat was Little Rhaenys' cat.
Yep, and also probably the mean black cat still in the Citadel. Not Citadel. Red Keep.
King's Landing. Red Keep.
What?
What? I didn't say anything.
But, no. And also, he would not be allowed to go... No.
What?
He would still be the spare.
Yes.
Joffrey had kids. And even then, the second brother is supposed to support the older brother through battles and shit. It would... Him going...
In the books, at least, Tommen is 8 years old.
Yeah, which is funny when Marjorie marries him. And he's just showing her all his cats and everything and excited about that. And then in the show...
Yep.
Yep.
Well, you liked the show, didn't you?
Oh, Mitch
That
loved the
was
show.
not...
You know what I liked about the show?
That it ended.
Season 8. I really liked Season 8. I thought it was a really good season.
You're an idiot.
I thought it was an amazing season. Easily better than all the others.
I implore you to reconsider.
Okay.
No, after watching that, I realized that you're right. No, I'm reconsidering.
You still can, Jon encouraged him. You'll simply have to return to the wall where your father will be waiting.
Myth.
What?
Peach once added.
Oh, Peach is here.
Myth, you must pay
sent
attention.
you like 3 messages, man.
That's why you send me messages.
I was just about to.
I mean, you were too busy eating for the past 10 centuries.
Okay, so what I do is
I
eat
don't
dinner
have
with my
Discord
parents,
open.
okay?
You can't.
Oh,
You
okay,
can't
that makes
message
sense.
me on Discord and expect me to answer.
And
Hey,
when
you
you
should-
No,
join
you have
here,
it closed.
Peach, when you join here, you could just message the private chat and it'll notify.
Yeah.
I have no guarantee that you guys are looking at the private chat. You can
Hey,
have
The only reason that
I see a little dot pop up on the private chat when there's a message there.
And still don't pay attention.
silence.
Well, that's
man,
because
anymore.
I've got my laptop here with the StreamYard open, and now I've got my computer hooked up to my TV, which is what I'm reading off of.
Excuses.
All right, so I remember last time there was a fucking bloodbath. So and Jon became.
Oh, there's
became-
already been a bloodbath.
Oh, there's a bloodbath
Myth.
here
Oh,
too. Don't you
fucking
worry
hell.
about that.
Yeah, I
So,
can't believe I missed it.
Lady of Carabanog bit off Joffrey Hill's hand, which turned out to actually be his entire forearm. And Robert Baratheon just stood there and watched him bleed to death on the ground.
Okay, so lady as in the direwolf, right?
Yes.
Yep, the puppy.
It sounded like you said Lady of Carabanog. I was like, shit, it's like the fucking the swamp people in the north.
I mean,
like
she's
random
the size of a fucking puppy, and she ripped off his entire forearm off.
Oh, and this is all because Sansa is still infatuated with him and tried to talk to him before he left, and he slapped her.
He, the now recognized bastard, slapped the daughter of a Lord of the Seven Kingdoms.
Not even a lord, a great lord.
Great Lord of the
A
Seven
Lord
Kingdoms.
Paramount and a Warden.
And he smacked her in the
And
face.
best friend of the king.
It was just, oh man, everything's just like. fucking
And the
going
man
everywhere.
who raised the Crown Prince of the Seven Kingdoms.
Dude, I'd like to see a fic that tackles shit like cliches like this from the other side, where the guy is trying to stop Mary Sue or Gary Stu from taking control with their weird fucking psychic mind manipulating shit.
That'd be hilarious.
Oh, and Ned, for some reason, decided that Jon, being the crown prince, was now time to tell him about his heritage.
I forgot that he was the crown prince.
I like how he didn't notice the first time that Myth mentioned the crown prince, and it didn't click in his head.
It's like, oh my god. It's just like, it's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's John Baratheon, first of his name.
Yeah,
Heir to the Seven Kingdoms.
And,
also, he's not marrying Shireen anymore.
Robert has promised him the most beautiful woman in the Seven Kingdoms.
Oh my
and
gosh.
she'll bear him a dozen sons.
I happen to have it on good account that a similar thing was once promised many, many years ago, and it didn't really go well. They wrote like 2 books about it. No, then fucking Virgil came in with his award-winning fanfic, third in the trilogy. Oh my gosh. So, any other bombs to drop?
I don't think so. Oh wait, yeah.
Ghost is apparently a good enough horseman to
pull a horse.
Help Samwell
ride a horse.
Sam on his horse.
Ghost?
Yeah, Ghost.
What?
Ghost.
Yeah.
Ghost is a good horseman.
Ghost is riding on the horse.
Ghost is a good horseman.
I just when that just sheepdog would fit better there. Because I have to assume that they're talking about like what a sheepdog does.
No, Ghost is a horseman. He's riding the horse.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how much more of this I can take. I've been here for 5 minutes. My world is crumbling down.
You like it.
Oh, and for some reason, despite being the crown prince, Jon is still letting Sam go to the wall.
Because fuck Sam.
I mean, if we're basing it off show and season 8, yeah.
I mean, if we're basing it off that, it's fuck everyone.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's usually how these fanfics go. In fact, you've kind of got it pegged, Mandalore.
Except McQueen.
And Tommen, despite being growing up as Robert's spare, always figured that he would go to the Faith or the Citadel.
Tommen?
Yeah, Tommen.
Yeah, 8-year-old Tommen.
Yeah.
That's really stupid. But who is the fucking guy called the Pious, the Targaryen king?
Oh, that idiot.
Like, wasn't he like
Baelor the Blessed?
Yeah, okay, him. I don't know, was he a bad king or like a good king?
He was a sucky everything.
He was a devout king.
Which made him an idiot.
Not quite.
He kept the faith. He kept the 7 kingdoms on good terms with the faith, but he didn't really have much else going for him.
Look him up. Every decision he made was stupid as sin. Literally one of the
Oh my god. Okay, he's the dumbass who put his sister is in the maiden vault. Okay.
Yes.
He married his sister, but never consummated. So she decided to dress in white to shame him. But he liked her dressing in white, so he's just let him keep killing.
A holy killer.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I have a feeling that George R. R. Martin doesn't really like religion that much.
I mean, yeah. You ever met a writer that likes religion?
The Saranath. We've been reading for about an hour and a half. You haven't missed much, to be honest. Just Joffrey getting his arm taken off by Lady and dying in the mud.
Also, Zero, they're the best author ever liked religion. Tolkien.
Yeah, me.
Tolkien, Homer, Virgil, C.S. Lewis.
No, me. I'm the best
The guy who
author
wrote
of all
Father
time.
Brown. Who was that again? Fucking
You still can, John encouraged him.
Chesterton.
You'll simply have to
David
return to the
Chesterton.
wall where your father will be waiting. No other maester gets that kind of guarantee about where they will serve, you know. Huh. Tommen retreated into himself, thinking.
Wait. The wall doesn't have septons.
Dude,
It does
would be
now.
worthy death for Joffrey if the entire rest of the fic wasn't just a steaming pile of shit. Also remember that it's the Seven's fault that Tywin got killed in this fic. He died for nothing, in fact.
Right.
No, he didn't. He died to make Jon heir to the Seven Kingdoms.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's obviously the real reason why the Seven put him there.
Fucking Seven are just playing Yu-Gi-Oh! They just sacrifice fucking Tywin.
Sacrifice Tywin to
Constance Jon.
upgrade Jon.
Fuck. It's my equip card.
We'll sacrifice Tywin, Cersei, and Jaime to upgrade Jon.
It's your move, Robert.
He was a thoughtful lad, and if Jon could maneuver him into taking Sam's path from that other life, well,
What?
he would feel less guilty about taking Sam directly into his service.
Wait,
Oh, there it is.
Okay, so he is going to stop Sam from going to the wall.
First of all, he's encouraging Tommen to be a septon, not a maester.
Well, he said Septon or Maester.
No other maester gets that kind of guarantee about where they will serve, you know. Going to the wall is not a good thing. That's not good that they have a guarantee.
Jon's being manipulative here.
I'm sure he actually believes that, so he's not being manipulative, he's being an idiot.
Yep. Indeed.
Why are you going to the wall? Jon asked Sam as Tommen drifted back towards his father. If you do not mind me saying so, you do not... I'm not exactly the type, Sam said with a mournful look down at his belly. I wanted to become a maester, but... Jon tipped his head in question. Why do you not go to the Citadel? That seems like a much better fit for you from what I have seen of you. Especially if it is what you want for yourself. I love how this arouses no suspicion when Jon has literally just met the guy. Officially.
He's supposed to be smart, but he can't read into a single statement.
My father was horrified by the idea of a member of his house wearing a maester's chain when I told him of my dreams. He told me I had to go to the Night's Watch, or I would have a hunting accident because I was not fit to be his heir. But if you wore a maester's chain, you would not be a member of his house, Jon said, puzzled. Sam rolled his eyes. I know that. If your father kicked you out, then why should he maintain any say in what you do with your life any longer? If you are no longer his heir, you are no longer his son, and his authority over you has ended. You should choose to do what you want to do. Who threatening to castrate who?
I'm confused as well.
What chapter are we on?
This is chapter 2.
Okay.
Chapter 2 within chapter 1.
Okay,
I
I got so
specify.
fucking confused there for a second.
Chapter 1 is
on-
essentially
yeah.
chapters 1 to 4.
Why the hell does this person do that? It's so
Why not?
confusing.
Why not?
Oh. It's artificially inflating the word count for chapter 1.
Is it though?
I could not. He is my father. How could I pay to live in Old Town until I had been accepted as an acolyte without his support? How could I even get there? I have no inheritance, no support of my house. I have no choice but to go to the Watch. I'll pay, Jon said dismissively. He had inherited all of the crown funds set aside for Joffrey, Myrcella, and Tommen. The crown that is 6 billion crowns in debt, dragons in debt.
Million, but yeah.
Million, yeah.
Wait, I thought they were more in debt than that.
They're 3 million to the Iron Bank, 3 million to the Lannisters.
Thought they owed more to the bank than the Lannisters.
No, it's equal debt to each.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Let's see, how much?
What does it matter? They're in high debt.
They are multiple million dragons in debt.
A damn nerd over here.
Okay. Yeah, half of it owed to the Lannister. So 6 million dragons in debt, and half of it was owed to the Lannisters. And it just doesn't say whether the other half is owed to the bank or not. Apparently.
Not only were you a nerd, you were also a wrong nerd.
I fucking Googled it literally just now.
Not you.
So-
It's talking to Mandalore.
Fuck off.
Damn nerd.
He had felt a
We're
little
all
guilty
nerds.
for it when Tyrion had given him his ledgers, but now he was glad of it. And you will become my personal maester when you are done. I will write the Citadel myself to see it so.
What the?
What?
This is so.
This is
Oh.
like, look at this uppity bastard. He's gotten a little bit on the drunkard we have as a king, and he thinks he can order us around. What a dumbass.
Yeah, like
Let's
Sam had
fucking
an accent.
poison his little
you
crow
can't
toady
order
friend.
the Citadel where they send a maester. The exception is the maesters at the Night's Watch because they are also brothers of the Night's Watch.
I'm just imagining like sending back a letter, be like, we've received, your request, and closes our response. The response just reads, "Fuck off."
The response reads, I am disinclined to acquiesce to your request.
The response reads, Sam fell down a flight of stairs. We are sorry.
And then he did it again. It was just really weird that he stabbed himself in the back 70 times.
He fell down a flight of stairs into a pile of lives and then fell
This-
down.
This is all the response that they have to Jon sending them a letter.
Good response.
What would I feel like the JJJ scene would also work even better than you're serious?
What if
I
don't
could
like
not
that?
ask for that, Samuel objected. You are not asking, I am offering. Aegon the First and his sister wives each had a maester in their service during the conquering.
Where was that stated?
I have no idea.
It's probably headcanon. This is reminding me of fucking
As
Arabian
king,
Nights
he had as
world
many
building.
as 6 maesters in his service at a single
What?
time.
Holy fuck! This
Not
is reading
including
like
the
reading
Grand
Arabian
Maester.
Nights fic. Oh my gosh!
And I
It
can
really
see
is.
the wisdom in it. The Grand Maester is sworn to serve the realm, but that does not guarantee his loyalty to the king and royal family.
What the?
This makes no sense. Why would you have fucking 6 meisters? Why would you need 6 meisters?
So, the only way I can see this is if he was counting all the castles that were under Targaryen control. That
would
were
make
under
sense.
direct Targaryen control.
But the maesters would stay in the castles. They went.
Yes, but since they were in the castles and they were under direct Targaryen control, they would still be Targaryen in service to the Targaryen family.
Yeah, but the way they're phrasing it
Yeah, that's definitely not how they're phrasing it.
Myth, that doesn't make sense because as king, he did not have Dorne.
He didn't have to have Dorne.
Dude, there's 7 kingdoms.
I know. Oh shit! I was counting the crown.
I mean, technically,
Wait.
there's more than 7 kingdoms.
Does the fucking the Ironborn, what the hell they're called? Do they count as a kingdom? Like one
Yeah.
of the 7?
Yeah.
The Riverlands is the extra kingdom, though.
Did they have a maester until they're like fucking rebellion, or
They would have still had a maester even during the rebellion. The
Every castle in the 7 kingdoms has a maester.
I wasn't sure if like the Ironborn had something different or not, because I wasn't sure if they had maesters or not, because like their culture was so radically different from the rest of the 7 kingdoms.
I'm sure they don't respect the maester. Wait. The Ironborn maester, wasn't that a Greyjoy at that time?
I don't know.
Okay, let's see.
Each lord has a maester, so it's not necessarily all the Ironborn have one maester. So the Hard Laws have a maester, Greyjoys have a maester.
Wendamir Meister, who serves House Greyjoy, doesn't say what family he's from, though.
How do you write his name?
I'll put it in the chat here. And then it says he took place after Kallen, who also served House Greyjoy.
Which chat is it that this chat that
the fucking private chat?
Oh, Wendemir.
Wendemir. Okay, that makes sense.
Never heard of him.
What a needlessly long name. For an unimportant
like this is entirely
headcanon.
Not canon.
Oh yeah, no. I thought you were accusing fucking Wendemir of not being canon. I was like, what the
No, I'm talking like what we just read. That's entirely not canon.
Yeah, that's why I was saying it reminds me of fucking Radiant Arabian Nights.
And I'm pretty damn sure Aegon and his wives didn't even have a single maester in their service during the Conquering.
I don't think they would have, because the maesters are a 7 kingdoms thing, and they weren't part of the 7 kingdoms yet.
If anything, wouldn't the Valyrian equivalent have been the fire mages, and they were persecuted, if I remember correctly? Like that's, yeah, the fucking Valyrians had the fucking
I know they had fire mages, but what about them being persecuted?
Yeah, I could swear that they were persecuted. There's like rumors of them having been the ones who started the Doom.
Yeah, there's rumors of them being the ones that started the Doom, but there's nothing about them being persecuted.
I could have sworn or something like that.
Compared to them, I do not think a single personal maester is not too much to claim for myself.
Is not too much to claim?
He doesn't think it's not too much to claim.
Okay.
This is very much not worded well.
It said something about like explanations for the Doom. One of the possible explanations is the Dragon Lords assassinating fire mages.
So it's a fan theory.
No, it's literally in the Westeros, like a Song of Ice and Fire. Septon, Barth, and some maesters believe that
no one actually knows what caused the Doom. Just because
it's in-universe speculation is what he's saying.
Yeah, exactly. Like by maesters in the universe. You know, some of which apparently went over with fucking Aegon the Conqueror. More you know.
Fire mages are better than maesters. They're a mage.
Look, I'm not saying this isn't absolute garbage. But Radiant Arabian Nights was so much worse.
Oh no, absolutely. I was just
Yeah,
saying
it's like comparing herpes to AIDS. I mean, AIDS is pretty bad, but I mean herpes is still bad.
Sam looked at him with both hope and fear. Your personal maester? My personal maester, John agreed. Not the Grand Maester, of course. What I have in mind is not what the Grand Maester is. And I will respect the Citadel's and the realm's traditions as king. But I want no one I cannot be sure is loyal to me first touching myself or my queen. Or any of our children.
He wants Sam to touch his children.
He wants Sam to touch both himself, his
wife,
queen,
and his
and
children.
their children.
What?
The little tiny horny honey.
I don't have that clip for some reason.
I can't find it either.
Oh, good lord.
I'll search for it as you continue to read.
Yeah. It would be an honor, Sam gushed. John raised a mostly patient eyebrow at Sam. But my father, he wanted... John sighed. Spend some time as a recruit to the Night's Watch, so you can say you tried, if you feel you must. You are a volunteer, so you can back out at any point until you give your oath. When you realize your place is in my household and not the Wall, I will send you south with Lord Lannister and Lady Myrcella.
What about the death threats from Randall? He's a very important lord. He could afford an assassin.
I'm just wondering who the fuck will die from his very presence next.
Everyone will.
You seem very confident this is going to work out the way you want it to, Sam observed. I am, John admitted. I have to be. Then, Sam said slowly, I suppose I better study healing while I'm about it. Not for your first link. Choose something that will give you time to adapt to your new surroundings for the first one, John cautioned. History, perhaps. Or mathematics, or economics.
What? Why would his... What?
What are you spluttering about?
Why would he study those before healing? What's the difference?
I don't know.
Honestly, and healing is something every maester has to study. I think it's part of their core studies.
It is, yes.
It would be one of the first things he starts.
As is history and economics.
You'd think that they do healing and history at the same time because they'd be studying the medical history of how the treatments came about. Like
not math, surely, Sam said again. Not at first. And here's the author projecting their own dislike of a subject into the fic.
I mean,
Yeah, nobody likes math.
Did Sam liked math, didn't he?
Yeah, Sam was a very studious person. He was
studious.
He
does
was
not like math.
I think you should just accept that he sucks at math.
John laughed. Law would perhaps be wise for a member of a royal household. Of course, Your Grace. Don't use your grace for the prince. You only use it for the king and or queen.
Yep. What do you use for the prince? Just my prince?
Yeah.
Thought so.
And be sure to take things you will enjoy. Music, magic, alchemy, poisons, metalworking, whatever. Hello, list my old friend.
Metalwork. Does he mean
I've come to talk with you again.
Metalworking is a legitimate.
I know, but that's not something. Yeah, the link is metallurgy. Yeah, I can't pronounce it right now.
Metallurgy.
Yeah, it's not metalworking. Metalworking would be working with the actual metal. That's a thing of itself, not a maester.
I'm pretty sure macers forge their links themselves.
I gotta beg to differ because they have Valyrian links. They would have to go to. No. Are you saying every maester that studied magic forged a Valyrian link themselves?
Is that what I'm saying?
And that was the impression that I got for how the chains were made.
That means every maester that studied a Valyrian link is one of the most skilled smiths in the world.
Either that or the links are unbroken and you just smith other links around them.
Oh, God. Sam waved his hands and gave a silent scream of delight.
Did he just do fucking jazz hands?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
hooray!
Sam just became a valley girl.
Oh, God. Thank you.
I want to die inside because I've known valley girls.
My God. And whatever you do make sure your father knows that the crown's trust in you has absolutely nothing to do with him.
Myth, I need to send you something in Discord that's fucking perfect for this.
That would be a bad idea. This is something that could get Randall to accept Sam. Or, kill him.
Absolutely fucking perfect for this.
What is it?
It's I don't know if you've ever heard of the old animated Lord of the Rings, the Bashki thing.
Oh, it's the DM you sent me.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Literally Sam.
That was perfect. Creepy Gandalf. Now, Myth, I want you to do this next part in a booming Robert voice.
I don't know, the loss of his beard has severely neutered his deep voice. Also, hands up if you have a longer beard than Myth does.
I do.
Literally anyone now?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Remember when you had a beard? 2 days ago?
Babyface, I don't know if he ever had a beard.
I mean, it might be starting to grow back already.
It's been like a day.
I know.
Takes a bit of a while, but it'll grow back.
Yeah,
Don't worry, buddy. Don't be
while.
sad.
You crushed his spirit.
I didn't.
Zero the
It
spirit.
was for the children. I'll be okay.
You don't sound okay.
You did it for the kids. You should
I'm
respect that.
gonna be honest. It was all I could do not to cry when that razor touched my face.
Aw.
I can see it on your face.
Hey, you could see it, but you were making fun of them all the same.
Who are you?
That's beside the point. I'm guilting you. Don't try to turn this around on me.
You do not like Sir Meryn, King Robert observed to Jon over luncheon. The king had taken to breakfast with Tyrion, lunch with Jon, and dinner with Ned. It was a relief to not have to attend the usurper for every meal.
Wasn't Meryn the pedophile?
In the show, definitely.
I'm pretty sure even in the books, he was removed from Myrcella's protection because he was giving her looks.
Yeah, I haven't read the books in a while, so I can't tell you, but he's the one that Arya killed in Bravos for being a pedophile.
That's not why she killed him, but...
But I love how Jon is already thinking of Robert as the usurper.
What? Why does he hate Robert now?
Honestly, Robert's a very likable person, to be honest.
Yeah, I would love to hang out with Robert. That sounds like a fucking blast.
Jon is already thinking of Robert as the usurper.
Robert was fucking justified. What the hell?
He was what?
I'm not going to go that far.
Oh, justified. No.
In starting the rebellion, yeah.
No,
considering all the other shit the Targaryens had done, like someone was going to start sooner or later.
Yes, but that doesn't make Robert justified.
True. I mean, Ned would have been more justified, but Ned would
have
started.
The rebellion, I will agree, was justified, but only to remove Aerys from power.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying that he was justified having like little kids fucking get their heads bashed in and shit.
That's not what you're saying?
No, surprisingly enough.
Oh, cool.
But Robert, from the beginning of the rebellion, made it more about Rhaegar than removing Aerys.
Because he was a fucking cock.
Who? Aerys,
Robert.
Rhaegar, or Robert?
Robert. He got fucking cucked by Rhaegar.
I cannot say I do, Jon admitted. Why? How did he not know about Queen Cersie and Sir Jaime? How did any of them not know? Is it truly that they did not know? Or did they simply not say?
I'm sorry, but for all we know, Cersei is a very silent person in bed. And brother and sister spending time together is nothing out of the ordinary. Plus, Jaime guards her. Server?
I guess he wanted to say usurper.
So the only reason Robert was able to claim the throne is because of his distant Targaryen lineage.
And it wouldn't be a conquering because Robert is was a sworn oathman to the Targaryens.
Yeah.
Which would be breaking he's an oath breaker.
I mean, could you argue that did the Targaryens swear any oaths to protect the realm or anything? Because you could argue that maybe they had gone against the terms of their own oaths. Like at least Aerys had.
Why would they swear?
The only way for Robert to have been, the only way for it to have been considered conquering the throne would be for someone to come from outside the Seven Kingdoms.
Plus,
the fact that Robert was sworn to the Targaryen family and rose up in rebellion and claimed the throne is what makes him a usurper.
The Targaryens were outright bend or die. There were no oaths on their part.
Clearly, Sir Barristan did not know. His reaction to finding out made that entirely clear. But he is Lord Commander. You are his primary charge, and when he is not with you, he is overseeing the Red Keep's security and guard schedules. He is responsible for his brother's training and the like. The rest of them have never had his concerns and should have seen something.
Wait, is the Lord Commander actually responsible for the training of the other Kingsguards?
I think that's a fanon concept. I don't think it's
Thank God,
ever...
'cause if it's not, then Barristan failed like hell.
I don't think that's ever indicated in canon.
I'm sorry, but if it was, Barristan was a big...
Yeah, I think the Kingsguard are all responsible for their own training. King Robert considered that. Sir Meryn did guard Cersie almost as much as Jaime.
No,
You are
I don't
quite
think some.
paranoid. I told Lord Stark I intended to make Cregan Stark look like an amateur. While I am not Hand of the King,
Oh,
you
God.
were, King Robert interjected. I forgot.
Yep, he was Hand of the King.
He was the
Hand of the King
shortest
for
Hand
5
of the
minutes,
King.
so he's already surpassed Cregan.
Yeah, he would. Cregan was
Hand
Hand
for-
for a day. John was Hand for 5 minutes.
Hand for an hour.
Hand any percent.
Oh,
Any percent hand run.
It doesn't say anything about Lord Commanders training the other Kingsguard, so just assume that's fanon.
I have already ordered Lord Tyrion to ensure you are entered into the history of the Hand as the youngest Hand to ever serve,
to be
with the
honest,
shortest tenure of any Hand in history.
There you go.
John shook his
to be
head.
honest, I like the King's Guard as a concept. A personal guard for the King, it's always been something that the King has, to be honest. Now, and I also like selecting the most skilled warriors in the realm. What I don't like is there being no training regimen. They should be pushed to their absolute limits.
Oh, yeah.
And there should be more than 7. You
Don't
don't
need
You
training.
don't choose your guard based on religious reasons.
Yeah, you do.
No.
In a medieval society, you generally do. Religious reasons have a lot of weight.
They can still...
Religion has heavy weight in those old societies.
It's like
I'm not saying it doesn't. But
the entire Third Crusade got excommunicated, and that was a big thing because they attacked Catholic Christian cities. Like Pope, I think it was Leo or Pope Innocent was fucking pissed about that.
But choosing only 7 guards doesn't make sense. There's other numbers important to the faith of the 7.
But 7
there's
is
only-
the most important.
Yep.
Just use a different number though, and that's still important to the religion.
Use 14. It's 7 times 2. It's the best number.
What if
Is
there's
it
more
no-
than 7 people in the royal family?
I mean, they have normal guards.
Kagebunshin no Jutsu.
And yet you prevented at least one war and canceled the several million of the crown's debt during your time in service. Several million? John frowned. What? Lord Tyrion agreed to cancel our debt to the Lannisters. He said the funds in question were clearly the false queen's living
False
God.
queen?
expenses, and a Lannister problem cleared through.
What? Cersei living at large.
It had nothing to do with Robert wanting to have tournaments constantly and live in excess.
Wasn't one of the tournament purses 40,000? I know. At least
The prizes were extravagant, and he
Yeah,
had plenty
right.
of tournaments at all the time.
Ned was 100% against it.
I mean, a lot of people say Baelish just was the reason for this, and I'm like, I'm pretty
No.
sure he was skimming off the
It
top.
was Robert not wanting to count coppers and wanting his lavish lifestyle.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Baelish was skimming stuff up the top, but that
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. Anyone in that position would.
just
Most people in that position would.
it's just an expense for the crown.
Yeah, like
Like, who's going to notice a few dragons when you're already several million in debt?
But
you swiping 100 here, a couple hundred there, throwing 1,000 here at some point, and just class them under King's expenses. No one will know.
King's alcohol for the year.
Yeah, exactly. He wants to drink all the time, and
And he wants
bought
to
a
drink
brewery.
wine. Hell, I'm sure the golden wine from ET would be expensive as shit. Put one of those down.
Yeah, like you buy the wine, and then the guy tells you, yeah, it's sold for 50,000 dragons, and then you put in the sheet. It costs 100,000 dragons. Who's gonna know?
Clearly not the king who doesn't want to count coppers.
Yeah, and if they actually get to the point where they test it, where they find the dude who sold it for 50,000, all Baelish would need to do is just send a guy there with a threat. If you say anything, you'll be dead by nightfall.
A threat? Just pay him off with a little bit of the 50,000 you just took.
Okay, first, yeah, well, you'll try with bribery, right? But
Yeah.
in case he's too scared of it, you have to scare him with something else.
I mean, if I give the guy 5,000 dragons, he's a merchant. I'm pretty sure he's pretty good at lying.
Yeah, I mean that would be the better plan.
Wow.
I like how he's trying to get me to not kill people right now. What the hell?
I never thought I would live to see the day that Mandalore advocated for the non-violent approach.
You can't solve everything with violence, no matter how fun it is.
Holy crap!
This needs to be immortalized.
Jesus Christ! What did we just hear that? Okay, we got our at around 202. He says this. I'm gonna just type this down in Chosen. 202. Okay, I'll remember this after this is done, and just clip it.
I mean,
Thank you.
you can solve a lot of problems with violence, but you can't solve every single one of them.
Our boy has grown into a man.
Hey, make it the full quote, dude.
He has matured. Let us take him out of context.
Oh, you got the clip.
Yeah. I found it.
That's going to be posted in every server you're in, isn't it?
Well, when I get the clip, I'll post it everywhere. Post it, and I'll star it, and I'll pin it.
Although I guess in a society like that, if I killed the merchant and threw him overboard, no one would ever know.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have forensic scientists. Yes,
Which is why
looking
I'm
at
on
this
him.
trace of blood, I can now deduce that the guy was walking at 3 miles an hour, punched him with a speed of 25 miles an hour, which severed his. I don't fucking know, but like they can figure anything out. Those guys.
Based on the angle of the knife wound, I can guess the culprit was 5'6". Based on the
Yeah.
force, he was a relatively strong male. And based on the weapon's depth, it was a dirk.
Fucking Holmesian deduction.
Based on the spatter of blood, I can deduce that the man cried himself to sleep every night, watching Teletubbies.
And then I'm just imagining someone just like fucking sobbing as the fucking weird
Dinky
sentient
dinky, and you got the guy in the
vacuum comes
background.
out. It's like,
I mean-
oh god, it's the vacuum.
The Teletubbies being on is a reason to sob, to be honest.
It's like I'm gonna be
got
seeing
some
the
more
baby
comments.
inside my nightmares.
We won't post this yet, Saranath.
You can, in fact, solve everything with violence. You just don't always reach the best resolution.
Wrong.
Which server are you posting these in? We
Which-
posted them in Zero's. I posted in Zero's server.
Saranath, you cannot solve yourself being stabbed
Oh yeah,
and
that's
having to
what it
heal
was.
it with violence. So you cannot solve
Exactly.
it with violence.
What were you saying about Cregan Stark? He cleaned up a great deal of corruption in King's Landing in mere days as Hand to the King at the end of the Dance of Dragons. It was only one day. Jon said, relieved to get back on the subject. I intend to do the same. Perhaps not in days. I do not expect the treasons miring your crown to be as obvious as the ones around that made themselves evident toward the end of the Dance of the Dragons. But I intend to live long enough to make it happen. That means I need to be on guard. And you need reliable guards. King Robert scratched his chin. More guards? Solution? Oh, look! He thinks the same as you, Mandalore. Why is the King's Guard only 7 men? Jon asked. Because of the
Dylan is
Andals.
self-inserting?
What?
Is Dylan self-inserting here?
Damn it, Dylan!
Oh,
You
no,
were writing
is
this
he?
the whole fucking time. Now we know why there's so many fucking deaths in here out of seemingly nowhere. Dylan's just using
This is actually Mandalore's fanfic.
yeah, it's just
God
like
damn.
he's just using it to say his bloodlust. It's like, I'm feeling
Excuse
pissed
you.
off. I'll just fucking kill
My
a bunch
blood
of
Yeah,
lust
I mean,
is
you
not
were
good.
literally just talking about why is the Kingsguard only 7 men, and look, what do you see?
The proof
It's
is
like,
right
you
in
know,
front of your eyes. Did
The
you write
proof
this?
is in the pudding.
I mean-
it's like Dylan's like Mandalore's like, yo, you know that scene in Revenge of the Sith when Anakin walks in all the room with all the kids? What if I didn't cut to black?
People don't like Star Wars.
Go away, Zero.
All right, goodbye.
The best number for me for a personal guard would probably be the Spartan personal guard of 300.
I'm sorry, did you say 300?
He wants
He
300
did.
men.
What do you mean personal guard of 300?
He wants them to guard his. I'm not gonna finish that sentence.
Because of the Andals and their faith, King Robert raised a single doubtful eyebrow.
What?
And he was right. That answer was obvious. But you
King
are not just
Robert
king
is-
of the Andals, Jon countered. You are king of the Rhoynar, the Andals, and the First Men.
No, you read it wrong. Not the Rhoynar that's written here.
The Rhaegar, the Andals, and the First Men. My brain auto-corrected it.
I know.
Also-
Like I saw that, I was like, wait, what?
Mandalore, I would take the Immortals over the 300 Spartans because the Immortals were an actual guard.
7 is the sacred number of the Andals, but 3 and 4 have the most value to First Men,
I wasn't
9
talking
to the
about movie.
Rhoynar.
I
If
was
we
talking about
increase the
actual
King's
history.
Guard to 27,
I am talking about actual history.
it would represent all of Westeros and give Sir Barristan the people he needs to guard you and I, my future wife, and your future grandchildren properly. 27? 7 is still in the name for the Andals. 27 is a factor of 9 for the Rhoynar, and 3 threes of 3 give 3 and 4 to the first.
3 3 get 3 and 4.
3 threes of 3 give 3 and 4 to the first.
How does it give 4?
I don't know how it gives 4, but
3 times itself 4 times?
no, it's only 3 times itself 3 times.
This person's math is above even myth.
Yeah. You're right. No, you're right.
There.
Oh, maybe it's 3 times 3 plus 3 times 3 plus 3 times 3. Wait, no, that still would be 3 times. I'm stupid. I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I must be more drunk than I thought, King Robert muttered. 3 threes of 3 is 4? The phrase uses the word 3 times.
What the
That
fuck
is the
is
fourth
happening?
three. What?
I'm so
I give up.
confused.
I tried to make sense of it earlier, but then I realized I'm stupid.
I mean,
They're
the fact
trying to
the
make
fact
a
that
play
I'm
on
also drinking
words.
is not helping things.
They're trying to do a play on words, and it's not
Failing
effective.
miserably.
The faith will not like it. The faith represents a fraction of your kingdom.
What?
Unless you plan to keep discounting Dorne in the north like the Targaryen kings did.
Aren't the Dornish also
Yeah,
believers
the
of
Dorne
seven?
have the Dorne have long since worshipped the seven.
Lip service.
It's only the north that holds out and still worships.
I'm
old
sorry.
God.
The Dornish pay lip service to the seven.
Yeah, but they don't worship any other gods, is the point.
And a fraction of the kingdom?
Well, except the Danes, I guess, like the Stony Dornish.
Yeah, like there are some Dornish, like the Danes, that may still worship the old gods.
Yeah, but you're right though. That those are the exceptions in every kingdom.
Yeah. Just like the Royces, if I recall correctly, from the Vale, still worship the old gods.
And the Blackwoods and Riverlands.
Yeah, there are scattered families across the South that still worship the old
There's
god.
a scattered family within the north that worships the seven.
Yes, because they were chased out of the Reach.
Good times.
It would bring the North further into the fold. King Robert sat back in his chair, looking at Jon like he was not sure what to make of him. And Dorne, of course.
Would it bring them further into the fold? I really don't think so.
I don't think Dorne and the North will care how many Kingsguard there are.
No.
But it is a decent reason for Jon to have given.
I guess.
I'm not saying it's a good reason, but it's decent.
I feel you give too much credit.
Of course, it would strengthen the king's peace, and anyone that objected to it would be insulting the North and Dorne. King Robert chuckled meanly at that. Sir Barristan! The Lord Commander ducked into the pavilion. My king? Bring Lord Tyrion. We have something to discuss, the four of us. Let us include Ned and Stannis as well. Get everyone's opinion at once. At once, Your Grace. Sir Barristan bowed and left the tent. Jon took a careful breath, held it, and released. He had taken a handful of steps to shake the faith's grip on various followers, including his sister. But this was his most daring strike at the faith's hold on the throne yet. He was confident in his success, and he knew at least Lord Stark would back him for true.
Did Sansa actually worship the seven?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she did. I don't know why she
Yeah.
would always pray at the Sept in Winterfell.
It wasn't until she was alone in King's Landing that she even started going to the Godswood.
And only then just to be
That was
alone.
that was so she could be alone and because she missed home, not because she was praying to the old gods.
Okay, been a while since I read the book, to be honest. So.
Which is funny because she somehow wanted to be the lady paramount of the North, rather the queen in the North. But she didn't even believe in the same religion they did.
Such a stupid.
Yeah, everybody liked that season, right?
So, we're going to have a Stark on the throne. But the Starks don't want anything to do with the Seven Kingdoms. We're going to be independent.
You like the reasoning there.
And then Dorne doesn't say it.
Yeah, Dorne of all kingdoms doesn't also demand independence.
And who was Dorne's representative? Dorne should have been in a civil freaking war.
Dorne should have been under the rule of Arianne Martell.
I know, but I'm talking
Didn't exist.
within the realm of the show and the characters they gave us.
Their civil war happened off screen.
No, it should have lasted much longer than that.
Their civil war happened off screen.
Remember Euron?
You mean urine?
Yes. I'm glad you remember him. Finger in the bum.
Finger in the bum.
At least that made me chuckle. But
even if his father did not quite know what he was about, Lord Stark would trust him enough to go along with it, and Lord Stark's agreement would be enough to sway the king. He hoped.
honestly, they probably could have redeemed Season 8 a little bit in my eyes if all the Seven Kingdoms split apart. That would have at least been a satisfying political ending.
That would have been fine. Here's my biggest issue with that scene as a whole. The fact that Tyrion had any say at all.
Yeah.
He was literally a prisoner.
Who has a better story than Bran the Broken? Good fucking.
Like, he was literally in chains. His words should have held no weight at all.
Which has better writing, this fic or season 8?
This fic.
And Bran should have.
Comatose monkey falling on a keyboard can write better than what Season 8 showed us.
I have seen a few post-Season 8 fics try to explain it as Bloodraven had taken over Bran's body.
Well, that could have been a sinister ending if they confirmed something like that.
I've seen that one quite often, actually.
Actually, I'm going to send you guys a video that we should watch after this chapter.
Returning to the wall should not have felt like coming home, but it did, and he hated it. Even with the traitors he could see walking around, it felt more like home than Winterfell. It was intolerable. Thankfully, King Robert drew all the attention. All focus was on him. Everyone moved with him. But then he retired to the Lord Commander Solar with Lord Stark and Lannister, and attention returned to Jon. There were just too many questions about an obvious Stark wearing a Stark-style cloak with doublet covered in Baratheon details and a Baratheon banner over his head. Place to hide? He asked Uncle Benjen before the sneak could escape. Benjen smirked at him. The rookery. Seriously? In a cloak with white fur across his shoulders? He gave Benjen the look his suggestion deserved. Benjen laughed and pointed to the right staircase. The Maester's keep is underneath it. No one goes there without direct orders. Distraction? Benjen stepped forward. All right, you lot. Sir Alistair, the recruits are yours. Everyone, you know your assignments. Let us not dawdle on with the king watching. You there! Benjen marched forward, drawing focus with him. Jon made haste. He did not need a sign from the old gods or the new to see that he had been given exactly what he had asked for. He closed the door to the Maester's keep behind him and came face to face with the only other living Targaryen in Westeros. Maester Aemon looked exactly like Jon had last seen him. Small, old, and frail, but surprisingly powerful at the same time.
What? That is not how that should have been written. Maybe,
Yeah,
but with a surprisingly powerful presence, all the same.
yeah. Because the last time Jon saw him, he was definitely small, old, and frail because he was on his deathbed.
Deathbed. Jon saw him. Oh, show.
The last time Jon saw Maester Aemon in the show was on his deathbed.
Yep, I was thinking book again.
I dreamed I was old.
That was a sad freaking death. They did that right.
Kill the man, Jon Snow. Or kill the boy, Jon Snow, and let the man be born. Mayhap it was just the knowledge that he now had about who Maester Aemon really was. But he
So is
felt
that
a
your-
connection to the ancient Maester.
Is that your advice now, Myth? Kill the man and let the boy be born?
Kill the man and let the boy be born.
It's
No,
not bad
I was
advice.
I was praying that they would not reach their goal.
What?
The fucking donation call to sacrifice. his
I
beard.
did not want to lose my beard.
You should have fucking said, okay, if you get like $10,000, I'll let you shave my beard. Also, I'm not sure if maybe fucking Zero threw all that Patreon and book
I
sales
didn't.
money.
I never shared the PayPal or Cash App links. So
Yeah, he knew exactly what would have happened if he did. There would
Yeah,
have been
I would have sunk in like 500 just right off the bat.
there had been 100 left on Friday. I would have sunk it right in.
Just I have $1,000 in my bank account. I wouldn't if I had found the fucking link.
Look, we're helping the children.
yeah,
Honestly.
I was not going to
Yeah, I mean,
share those links.
they're gonna use the hair from Myth's beard to make little tiny beards for kids.
That was enough beard for at least 20 for kids.
Got like 5-year-old being like, I want a mustache.
Kids
Don't
never
worry,
will
little
need
boy.
these beards.
What made it worse is how bad of a job they did.
I like
Yeah,
how that
no,
one dude's mom is like, yeah, he just looks older. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay.
What that's literally because of how bad of a job they did.
Yeah, they don't know how to shave.
told him to
Whose
try.
clipper did they use?
It was I don't someone in the fraternity had it, so
I told him to do stripes instead.
yeah, I went and watched it later to see what the comments actually were. So yeah, I saw.
Uh,
How did you like our comp?
I did find it quite amusing that, with the exception of Chase's mom, it was only people there for my beard.
Yeah, no, I was looking at the fucking VOD. I was like, what the hell? Like, it would be so dead, but there's just people chanting, shave the fucking beard off. Zero's having the time of his life. In the fucking chat.
it was great.
It was.
And this is how the beard dies,
and
with
meanwhile,
thunderous applause.
That
I was like chipping off ice in my freezer because my sister fucking overfilled it before she left, so I'll like a shit ton of ice built up. So I had to like literally take a hammer and a fucking knife and like chisel away ice so I could get the fucking freezer open. And that's what I did for like 7 hours yesterday.
Where'd that come from?
seriously.
It's how I missed the fucking stream.
Oh,
I literally said, meanwhile, I was doing all this shit, so I couldn't make the stream. I deeply regretted it.
mayhap it was just the knowledge he now had about who Maester Aemon really was. But he felt a connection to the ancient Maester, the son of Maekar the First, a man that would have been king had life been even a little different. Maester Aemon, he greeted. Brows furrowed
That was
about...
the biggest mistake Aemon ever made. Relinquishing the kingship. He would have been an amazing freaking king.
Maybe. But the thing is, he was already a maester at that point.
So he would have been a learned king.
Maesters, like, are no longer part of their family. He like, yeah. Like, he wasn't technically in line anymore. It's just he had supporters that wanted him to be king. And so he took the black to even further remove himself. He was already out of the line of succession.
He still should have taken it. It would have prevented
A lesser man would have. I respect him more for not taking it.
Oh, at that point in time, yes. Decision full of respect. But in hindsight, it would have been...
I mean, he himself regrets what happened to his family ultimately because he didn't accept it.
That would be a great fic. Aemon time travel.
Aemon goes back in time and chooses to become king.
Yeah.
And be a vastly different Seven Kingdoms.
Yes.
Brows furrowed about clouded eyes as the maester focused on him. You know my name, and yet I do not know your voice. I am Jon Snow, Jon Baratheon, Prince, King Robert's new heir. Yes, What?
I hate it whenever they fucking do this. It's so annoying.
It's Jon Baratheon. You better get on your knees and worship.
Jon Baratheon, first of his name.
John Skywalker.
If Aemon got on his knees, he'd never get up.
Yes, we received the proclamation. Maester Aemon nodded. Come, sit with me. How can I be of service, my prince? I am looking for information about dragonglass. There are rumors of its uses in the north, but I would like to see them confirmed or denied if I can. My library is not terribly extensive, but I will help as I can, Mace Draymond promised. What rumors do you mean, Your Grace? About White Walkers, Jon said. About the dead walking, and about dragon glass and flame putting them down, sending them on to true death. I see True Death and I think of the HBO series True Blood.
I think it's your internet connection.
It's fucking Australian internet. I've heard it's really bad.
That's what you get for being Australian, I guess.
Straya. Do they actually say Straya though?
For Australia.
Yeah, Straya.
I can see why you would believe my library could help, but I am surprised a prince would be interested in the affairs of the Wall. If the dead are walking as the deserter Lord Stark Slew said, that is all of the living's affair, not merely the walls. It means winter is coming and we all need to be wary. As you say, my prince, Mace Draymond patted around blindly to find a book. When he found the one that he was looking for, he pulled it off the shelf and handed it directly to Jon. That should be a good place for you to get started. Let me know if you have any questions. Of course, Jon was not the fastest of readers, but he could read. Why does this need to be specified?
Did they just call Jon a dumbass who can't read very fast?
Look at this fucking dumbass.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
You don't even know how to read.
As opposed to Rising Sun Jon Snow, who can read anything.
He can only learn from books. Of course he can read.
No.
Honestly,
only-
when he learns Rising Sun, he learns everything from books, so he has no actual practical experience, so he just gets shit on whenever he starts fighting.
That'd be hilarious.
That's-
And I have seen people come into a class and that happens. But no, Jon in Rising Sun can only learn from books or Master M's special training.
Oh yeah, we can't forget about Master M.
I just realized you changed your name here to Myth the Fallen.
I can't be the Beard King.
I
I
know.
noticed you haven't changed your profile pic on this yet to the seasonal.
Oh,
Fuck.
No,
that's too much work.
So that it on Discord, yes, for the entire month. For this, only if I do a Christmas stream.
Ah, okay.
I want a Christmas hat.
Honestly, the bet could have been dyeing your hair and beard white for the entire month of December.
If he still had one,
I mean,
if he
instead of
still had a
shaving.
beard, he could have got a job as a mall
No,
Santa.
what Mandalore is saying is instead of letting them shave my beard,
Ah,
the commitment would have been dyeing my hair and beard white.
I'm imagining him doing the part of mall center, be like, little kid, if you ever write a fucking
So-
Harry Potter fix, so help me God, it better be good.
So Mandalore, the
I'd teach you
problem
to
with
answer
that
questions.
is hair dye is very bad for facial hair.
Yeah.
I would have had to shave at the end of the month anyway.
At least
That's
you have gone out in a
Dario.
blaze of glory.
Make it natural dye. From plants.
He could not focus, however. He knew this man. He knew all he had, all he had lost, all the world had taken from him. And Jon himself was a piece of all that back, even though Maester Aemon knew it not. And he was in a position to get more of all that Maester Aemon's family had lost back than the old man could ever hope to dream.
Yep, here it comes.
Hope. It was one of the most important things a man needed. Something he could clutch to get him through even the coldest winter. Maester Aemon. Jon set aside the book and moved on to the Maester's own bench. I would have you see me. That would be a trick, Maester Aemon japed, even as Jon took his hands and placed them on his face. I have not seen anything since... ... The old man went speechless as he ran his fingers gently over Jon's eyes, taking in the shape of them. Then he went down his chin, scraping his fingers into the beginnings of Jon's beard to find his true jawline.
I just realized something.
Jon has a beard.
Jon from the Rising Sun has a better beard than Myth.
Jon,
Not
from any
for
figure,
long.
he has a beard, has a better beard than Myth, because he has a beard.
Even a teenager with peach fuzz now has a better beard than Myth
I'm
does.
sure
What do you
within
mean
a
peach
day
fuzz?
his has grown thicker than a teenager with peach fuzz.
Yeah, I've already passed teenager.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
My face is already like sandpaper.
Everyone likes sandpaper.
Either way,
How much longer in this chapter?
I don't know. We're about halfway
we're
through
really
the
close to the end of it.
first
Actually.
chapter, so I'm like the actual chapter 1, so I think chapter 2 is almost done.
It might be right below.
You literally,
below the end of
like,
this
two
page.
sentences from the bottom of this page is the end of chapter 2.
Oh.
Okay.
I am black of hair and purple of eye, he admitted so softly only the maester could hear him. A purple so dark most call it black. The maester took a deep, shaky breath and pulled him closer. My father was Rhaegar Targaryen, Jon admitted directly to the maester's ear. My mother was Lyanna Stark,
I'm getting some Jon X Aemon vibes right now.
Prince Rhaegar's second legal spouse. She named me Aegon Targaryen. I am the 7th of my name, and King Robert Baratheon has named me his heir.
It's
I will
so
reclaim
bad.
the throne for our family. He pressed a kiss to the old man's wrinkled brow. You are not alone. Maester Aemon dropped his head to Jon's shoulder, and he wept.
Oh god, it's over. Thank God.
It's over.
Okay,
No, it's
thank
not.
God.
Listen,
Chapter 2 is over.
No, next time we'll do chapter 3.
Yes.
But first, that video I sent in Discord.
no.
Yes.
Oh, why?
Because it's funny.
No.
What?
You
What's
heard
a
the
low
man.
blow, Saranath?
I think it's me making fun of you.
Oh.
We'll see.
I mean, it's pretty low-hanging fruit right now.
That's all Zero can reach.
Wait, what? I actually wasn't listening.
He's saying the low hanging fruit is all you can reach.
Oh, is it because I'm short?
So the video.
Dude, that's a 7-minute video.
That's not that long.
That's a 7-minute video.
2 more minutes than 5 minutes, man. Like, oh my gosh.
So it might demonetize since it's another.
Is this
person's
stream
content.
even fucking monetized?
No.
It'll eventually be.
It won't.
But I think it is time to end the stream. It's about all I've got.
Okay.
I'm not going to schedule another one until I know what my work schedule looks like.
Yeah, that's fair.
Alright, I gotta go do something really quickly before I go to bed. So I'm fucking
You're gonna
tired.
have second dinner? We're gonna have another
No, I
dinner
just
that
got talking
lasts
to
for
my
10
mom about
years?
something.
I like how he
Alright.
explains what he's doing and not realize I'm just messing with him.
Oh no, I know you kind of messing with me, but